It's now the holiday season, which means it's that time of year again where streaming services fill our stockings with as much Christmas-related content as possible. So sit down by a warm fire and get ready to scroll through some content. As it always does, Netflix has a new lineup of Christmas content for your viewing pleasure. So here's a list of the new Christmas movies and shows on Netflix. Starting off our list is Love Hard. Los Angeles journalist Natalie Bauer is searching for her soulmate in the online dating world. Her flirt app, Matches, have tested her patience with men using outdated profile pictures, standing her up completely, the usual problems of virtual dating. At the encouragement of her best friend Carrie, she expands her search for true love to countrywide, and just like that, she swipes right and matches 30-year-old Josh Lynn. Feeling like she knows him well enough, Natalie decides to hop on a plane and surprise Josh. However, when she arrives, she's shocked to discover Josh isn't who he said he was.
Natalie?
Are you his G-word?
This is a Christmas miracle.
He used a picture of his best friend Tag to lure Natalie into a romance. Before she leaves, Josh strikes a deal with Natalie. If she'll stay for a week and pretend to be his girlfriend to make his family happy, he'll help her win over Tag, thus finding her true love. Yet instead of cutting her losses and parting ways to write her next humiliating masterpiece, she agrees to stay and scheme with Josh. The next movie we have for you is The CLAUS Family. Jules CLAUS doesn't like Christmas. After his father died last year, he no longer wants anything to do with it. While his mother is working, Jules is spending a lot of time in his grandfather's toy shop. One day, he finds a magic snow globe, which takes him to the furthest parts of the world. He discovers something out of the ordinary. His grandfather is the real Santa Claus. The tradition has been in the family for years and years, and now that his father is no longer there, Grandfather Claus has taken on this job once again. Up next on our list is Christmas Flow. The story follows two characters, Marcus and Lila, who keep crossing paths. Marcus is a famous rapper, but his lyrics about women have caused a storm. Heckled as a misogynist and promoting violence against women, Marcus must answer to claims in court and pay his fines for his words. He must find a way to save his career and create a Christmas album, despite his insistence that his lyrics are art. It's like a freedom of expression. And then there's Lila. She works for a self-funded activist digital magazine with two friends to promote feminism and atrocious acts of misogyny. Will either of them give way to their lifestyles, or will they miss out on the holiday love that could be? Next up on our list is The Princess Switch 3. Princess Stacy Wyndham of Belgravia and Lady Margaret Delacourt, Queen of Montenero, are preparing to host an international Christmas festival in Montenero, the centerpiece of which is the Star of Peace, a sacred relic said to have once belonged to St. Nicholas himself. The Star of Peace has been personally loaned to the Queen as a sign of goodwill. Shortly after the star arrives, however, a team of thieves break into the palace and steal it without leaving a trace of evidence. Knowing that the police have no leads, Stacy and Margaret decide to approach the only person they know with a criminal background, Lady Fiona Pembroke, who is currently on probation and working as a custodian in an orphanage. Will this unlikely team be able to find the Star of Peace? Find out in The Princess Switch 3. Next up, we have A Boy Called Christmas. An ordinary young boy called Nicholas sets out on an extraordinary adventure into the snowy north in search of his father, who is on a quest to discover the fabled village of the elves, Elfhelm. Taking with him a headstrong reindeer called Blitzen and a loyal pet mouse, Nicholas soon meets his destiny in the magical, comic, and endearing story that proves nothing is impossible.
No idea what this Christmas thing is, but I love it.
Now before we get into the next half of our list, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to enable notifications so you never miss out on one of our videos. And while you're at it, why don't you take a look at the newly created Binge Now merchandise store? There are tons of great things to choose from that you will find something for everyone. The link can be found in the video description below. Next up on our list is A Castle for Christmas. The story follows a famed American author, Sophie, who travels to Scotland and finds herself wanting to buy a castle, but the prickly owner, a Scottish duke named Miles, is reluctant to sell to a foreigner. Working to find a compromise, the pair constantly butt heads, but along the way, they may just find more than they bargained for. Next up on our list is Elves. The upcoming series is a lot darker than you might imagine, and certainly not what you'd expect from a Christmas-based story. Elves sees a family of 4 travel to a remote Danish island in the hopes of reconnecting over the holidays. They soon discover that the island isn't nearly as idyllic as they had hoped, meeting members of a deeply religious community with a dark secret. They live alongside a society of mysterious creatures that reside in the woods. The elves in question are real, fierce, and vicious, as the family will learn firsthand. The first season tracks the consequences of the family's youngest finding and bringing home a baby elf, which throws the island into a life-or-death war against the deadly creatures. Next up on our list is Single All the Way. Desperate to avoid his family's judgment about his perpetual single status, Peter convinces his best friend Nick to join him for the holidays and pretend that they're now in a relationship. But when Peter's mother sets him up on a blind date with her handsome trainer James, the plan goes awry. Next up is Grumpy Christmas. A family trip to the beach turns crazy when Don Servando makes an arch-nemesis out of Alma's strong-willed, opinionated aunt, Doña Alicia. When Don Servando's role as head of family is put into question, he spends their Christmas vacation trying to get the family back on his side, instead of on Doña Alicia's. And finally, we have 1,000 Miles from Christmas. A comedy that tells the story of Raul, a 30-something who has suffered all the misfortunes of his life during Christmas time. This is the reason why he really hates Christmas carols, the 3 wise men, and everything that remotely smells of Christmas spirit. Every year he spends Christmas time on a faraway beach, but this year his boss has different plans for him. Raul must attend a business trip to audit a Turrones de Valverde factory in a town that lives for and loves Christmas. And if this wasn't enough, he will have to share accommodation with a local teacher, Paula, whose dream is beating the world record of the largest real-life nativity scene ever created. And that's some of the new things coming from Netflix this holiday season. Let us know what your favorite Christmas movie or show on Netflix is down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. And also, think about becoming a member of our channel. That membership gives you a loyalty badge for your profile and allows input on our future video topics. The link to join is in the description below. We hope you enjoyed this list, and as always, thanks for watching.